Hello friends, welcome back to Homeschool Art. Today we're going to be talking about Frida Kahlo, but her real name was Magdalena, Carmen, Frida Kahlo y Calderón. We'll call her Frida Kahlo. Frida was born July 6th, 1907 in Mexico City, Mexico. Frida died July 13th, 1954. Frida is known as one of the most famous female Mexican artists. When Frida was a little girl, she contracted a disease known as polio, and that left Frida disabled. Frida was a very intelligent girl who went to school and learned all that she could and had friends and did wonderful things, and she had goals. She wanted to be in the medical profession. When Frida was 18 years old, there was a bus accident, and that left her in bed for a long time trying to recover. And because of that accident, Frida found art. Frida had lifelong pain and medical problems because of the accident, but she didn't let that stop her. Frida would take the canvas and prop them up on her legs in the bed, and she would paint while she was in bed because she didn't have much else she wanted to do while she was sitting there waiting to recover. Frida depicted death and pain frequently in her artwork, and she would use what is known as juxtaposition, and that is an art principle that we're going to talk about today at the end of the video, so stick around. Frida did a lot of self-portraits. And in those portraits, she would often put interesting things like animals in the background or put herself in front of jungle scenes. Many times she would put things around her neck that had drops of blood on them or ribbons or different things. Frida loved using her heritage as a Mexican artist to put lots of color in and lots of iconography. That's also something we'll talk about at the end of the video. Frida Kahlo loved putting pre-Columbian and Christian symbols in her artwork. Just like every artist, from the time Frida Kahlo started painting to the end of her life, her art changed a lot. Starting out, Frida Kahlo was influenced by pre-Renaissance artists, but towards the end of her life, she used Mexican iconography and colors and things from her experience and infused them into her paintings. To this day, Frida Kahlo remains one of the most famous female artists of the 20th century. I would suggest if you want to look at more Frida Kahlo paintings that you do so with your parents first, or let them look first, because there are some things that she depicts in her paintings that might be a little startling or inappropriate for young artists. Today I'm going to mostly show you her still lifes and a few of her self-portraits. But first, some inspiration. Frida said, "At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can. I don't paint dreams or nightmares. I paint my own reality. I paint flowers so they will not die. I paint myself because I'm so often alone and because I am the subject I know best." Finally, she said, "They thought I was a surrealist, but I wasn't. I never painted dreams. I painted my own reality. People aren't perfect. None of us are perfect. But everyone has something important that they can say or that they can contribute to the world. And I hope you all find ways to contribute in a positive way to our society, to our world." Today, for our art project, we are going to do a still life inspired by Frida Kahlo. I want you to stop the video after I say this and go gather all your supplies. Go to your mom and ask if you can use some fruit or other objects that you would like to draw. And we're gonna put them all together. Maybe you could get a teddy bear and put an orange next to him. What we did, I took bananas, avocados, oranges, and some carrots. Those aren't fruit, those are veggies. And then I went outside and I got some flowers off of our trees that are blooming, and I put those there, and I got dandelions out of the yard because there are plenty of them. Ask your mom first if you can use some of her flowers. I also got a vase with some flowers already in it. You can get all kinds of different things, but it would be best if you had some pieces that sit higher in your painting and some pieces that sit lower, just so that you get a variety. You're going to put something in your composition. That means a group of elements or group of things put together. That's a composition. You're going to put something different. Maybe it's an animal. Maybe it's a butterfly or a caterpillar or a dog or a sheep. Doesn't matter what it is, but you can put it in there. It could be something that is significant to you. Maybe you love your dog, or maybe you think butterflies are beautiful and they remind you of spring. So get your composition pieces together, all of the items that you're gonna put together, and then arrange them in a group. Our family used pastels. We also had colored paper. There was some black paper, reds and greens and yellows. Doesn't matter what color it is, just pick some colored paper. If you would like to use white, that's fine too. But we used colored paper. Just start with something. I started with my bananas. And then I made sure that my blue vase was behind it. And in the blue vase, I had some orange flowers with green leaves. I made sure that my orange and avocado and carrots were in there and my dandelions. And then I had these cool red flowers from our tree. Then I decided that my strange object that I was going to put in this composition were going to be butterflies. So I picked a black and blue butterfly because blue and orange are contrasting colors, and I felt like there needed to be a little bit more blue because this was a very warm picture because of the color of the paper, the yellow and the orange of the orange and the orange and the flowers and the carrots. So I picked a big blue and black butterfly and a small orange and black butterfly. Now, with your pastels, they're very messy. So make sure you have a paper towel that you can wipe your hands off if you need to. But pastels are awesome because you can color them. We took cotton swabs and smudged it around and blended some of the colors together. And you can do some scribbling. You can make different textures and just play around. If you would like to use your finger to smudge things together and mix the colors, you can do that as well, but make sure you don't touch your clothes because it's oil-based. Now I'm going to show you what my family did. I'm going to start with my youngest. We all had the same composition. We had the vase, the blue vase with the orange flowers. He took black paper and he put blue on it and white and black and red. My next son wanted an orange sheet of paper. So on this sheet of paper, he had the blue vase and the flowers and the leaves and the bananas. He decided to make red plums and some oranges and his avocado that's dark. And it's on the orange background, so everything looks vibrant and colorful. My next son made it very small. So here he has the table, and we usually have a table runner on it. And there's the blue vase with the flowers. I'll show you really closely. And the fruit and everything, and it's very small. I would suggest maybe doing it a little bit bigger, but he loved the outcome. My next son took a lot longer than everybody else. He really worked hard on this. So he had his blue vase and flowers, and he wanted to go through, and he started with a pencil and he created his outlines and then he colored them in. He also took time to see that coming through the window was some light, and it made these areas lighter on the carrots and the orange and the vase. And he was so proud of how it all turned out. Lastly, my daughter did a big blue vase, and she decided to put a bird in as her strange object. And she said that the bird had been eating the dandelions. Art principle of the day. Today we're talking about juxtaposition and iconography. Juxtaposition is when you take two different things and you put them together to create something new, a new idea or a new look. For example, there's a famous sculpture in New York that has a bull and a little girl. The bull is totally different from the little girl, and it creates a juxtaposition and a powerful thought. You could take a succulent in a pot and an orange. So those are totally different things. One is food, one is a plant, and you could put them together and paint them. Surrealism is when you try and interpret or paint or draw your dreams or something dream-like. Salvador Dali loved to use juxtaposition. He had clocks that were melting, a horse on the ground. His animals had long, spindly legs instead of what they normally look like. When you put two different things together, you can create new ideas. So if you're trying to find a new idea, trying to find something different, try juxtaposition. Try taking two different things and putting them together. Maybe it's two different textures and you put them together, two different ideas and you put them together, and you will create something new. The next principle is iconography. Throughout history, artists have used symbolism and iconography to create new ideas. For example, in Christian art, a lamb would represent Jesus Christ. A dove would represent the Holy Ghost. Different animals and different pictures have symbolism for people. A peacock represented beauty and wealth or sinful pride. A dragon might represent evil. A butterfly could represent change and hope. A pomegranate could represent fertility. Colors can represent things as well. For example, red could be passion or love or anger. Orange could be energy and happiness. Yellow could be hope and happiness. Green could be new beginnings or abundance. White would represent purity. In the United States, the donkey and the elephant represent the two main political parties, Republicans and Democrats. Artists use iconography and juxtaposition to enrich their paintings and bring meaning to them. So if you're ever at an art gallery and you don't know what something means, you could ask someone who works there and say, in this particular painting, what was the painter trying to say? You can also stand there on your own and think, what does this say to me? How does this apply to me? Thank you for joining us here at Homeschool Art, talking about Frida Kahlo. Please like and subscribe, share with other people who might want to learn more about artists and art in general. Bye!